and welcome to February's book review, or book roundup review should I say. In the month of February I actually read 10 books. 3 of them was audios, 2 was ebooks, and 5 of them was actually physical copies. So I'm going to start like I normally do with my lowest rated to my highest rated. So my lowest rated book of this month was a non-fiction book, and it was The Journal Writer's Companion by Alice, I think I'm saying that right, Alice Thomas. Now this is a book, if you're just starting out with journaling, I would recommend this. But as I've been journaling off and on basically my whole life, and like writing diaries and things like that, and I mostly know quite a lot of it already, so there's some bits that I liked, but not everything. It's about different types of journaling, like you can do bullet journaling, brain dumping, like artistic kind of journaling, all, loads of different things. And then it's like the benefits of journaling, prompts for like daily pages and stuff. They just give a list of things, I don't know where that is now, of things that you could like journal about, which that was helpful. But the only thing I would have preferred in this book, there's the list for writers, look. The only thing I would have preferred in this book is if there was some sample pages taken from other people's journals and actually shown how they have done their journals. And it tells you about the benefits of journaling, like especially with your mental health and things like that, which I think is really important. So this, I think, it's okay. It's an okay book. It's a good written book, but only if you're new to journaling. You have nowhere to start. If you journal quite a bit anyway, you'll probably know most of the things in this book already. So for me, it was a 2.5 stars, only because I know most of it already. But if you're beginning, it's a good book. Okay, it was 2.5. I told you that 2.5 stars, didn't I? Yeah. Okay, the next book I read was an audio book, which I listened to from my local library, Burrow Box, and I put the picture here. And it was The Family Upstairs by Lisa Jewell. Where are you going, pussy? Come here, darling. Come here. Oh, my cat was messing about. Quite a lot of people give this really good, high ratings, but I only give this one 3 stars. It was a good book. I enjoyed it. It was hints of a cult. There was I can't really explain it too much. It was like at this house, and then they found this house, and then somebody goes into the house and finds everybody there's dead. Two teenage kids are missing, and there's just a baby left in a cot. And then 25 years later, this baby has grown up, and she has inherited the house because the 2 teenage kids that went missing, they can't find them. So she inherits this house, and it basically the past comes back and everything. There's a few twists and stuff. It was I enjoyed reading it, but I expected all the twists and everything. I knew what was going to happen. Basically, quite a lot of people said they didn't, but to me, I think it's because I read a lot of thrillers that I automatically. I think I should have been a detective in this life probably. But yeah, I give it 3 stars. Then after that, this one, it's A Long Way to the Moon by Chris, oh my god, Tetrilt Blay. Can you see that there? I cannot pronounce it. And it's illustrated by Greg Carter. This is a lovely little book about a little moth. It's a cute little moth, look. And he wants to go to the moon. And on his way, there he goes, he wants to go to the moon, look. And he meets a frog who wants to eat him. And he meets all characters, and the owl says he will show him a better place to go, a better way to get to the moon without flying all the way there. And it's a lovely little book, and I really love the story. The only thing I didn't like was the last page. It had a picture of this. Now that's supposed to be the moon with old Grandad's face. Now that I thought were quite freaky. And I showed my kids and let my kids read it and see what they thought of it. They liked the book. They're 8 and 9, the youngest 2. They liked the book, but them 2 thought that was a bit freaky. And I think if a little kid was reading this book, that would probably give them nightmares. But besides that, it was a good book. I did like the rest of the pictures were good as well, and I love the story. I give this 3 out of 5 stars. Okay, next one was another non-fiction, Houseplants by Lisa Eldred Steinkolf. Like, you see the word? I can't pronounce it. I'm rubbish at pronouncing people's names. Rubbish pronouncing any words, to be honest. But this, I quite enjoyed this book. It's about choosing and caring for indoor plants. Now, I haven't got any indoor plants except for one orchid, which I've had since last year, and it's going well still. Now, I'm thinking about getting some plants, but I have nowhere idea to start. And this is a great little book. It shows you starts from easy, then it goes moderate to challenging. And it shows you about, like, there's a picture of the plant, name of the plant, what about the plant, which part of the house it likes to be in, light, dark, you know, things like that, how often to water it, if it flowers, the size of it, and the propagation and things like that. And there's about 150 different plants in here. And I think this is really good because I'm planning on getting some plants. I'm going to start off with the easy ones, obviously. But this is a good guide if you have no idea about plants, how often to water them and things like that, or even about which windows to put them in your house. This is brilliant. So I did like that, and I gave that one 4 stars. Then after that, I read another audiobook, which I listened from BorrowBox, off from my local library. And that was The Flatshare. Now, normally, I don't like romance books. I always think, too lovey-dovey. This one I loved. I think it was brilliant. It's about Tiffy, and she is just split with her boyfriend, and she's looking for a new place to stay, but she hasn't got much money, so she needs somewhere very cheap. And then she finds somewhere that is offering a flat share, but the only problem is, with the flat share, there's only one room, so they have to share the same bed. The only thing is that she will have it in the daytime, because at the night time, because she works in the day, and the other guy, Leon, he will have it through the day and sleep there in the day because he works as a palliative nurse at night time. So they never actually have to see each other. And it works for both of them. They both move, she moves in, and she communicates with him by sending him little notes, just like little post-it notes, and just messaging. She's, I've made you some extra dinner, things like this. And eventually, months later, they actually finally meet each other. And I really loved it. I just really loved it. It was a very cosy book. I really loved Tiffy, and I love Leon. And because I listened to audiobook, Leon has got an Irish accent, and I loved Leon. I just love listening to Leon's chapters. I know people will say that Leon felt a bit dry, but because of the audiobook, I think it made it better for me. I loved it. And I gave that 4 out of 5 stars, but was thinking about upping it to a 4.5. So we'll see about that. Then afterwards, I read Wilder Girls by Rory Power. I read this on an ebook, also from my library, from BorrowBox. If you haven't got, if you've got a library, have a look what app they use, because mine uses BorrowBox, and you can get loads of free audiobooks and ebooks for free, and just listen to them. Great. Anyway, this is about, I think it's an island called, oh, I can't remember what it's called now. Rowder. No, that's not right. Something. It's an island anyway, and there's a boarding school there for girls. And there's this tox, this like virus that they all get, and it affects everybody differently. Some of them are getting like extra spines, some of them are getting like going blind in one eye and getting weird things, some of them are getting scales and all different kinds of things. And it's also affecting the wildlife. All the animals in the woods outside are all going weird as well. Quite a lot of them have died of the tox. Most of the adults have died. There's only 2 teachers left and about 60 girls. And the outside world, part of the Navy, I think it's the Navy, are sending weekly supplies in. Sending weekly supplies of food and stuff, but some girls are starting to go missing. And like they think that they're taking them out to do experiments on them, on the thing to try and... It was a good, I really loved it anyway. I loved it. The main character was called... Do you know what? I forgot what the main character was called now. Oh, that's going to be irritating me now, because I can't even pick up the book to have a look either, because it's on ebook. Oh, that's really irritating. But yes, the main character, I really loved her, and I loved the way she had a friendship with these other 2 girls in the book. At one point, 2 of the girls do have sort of like a lesbian relationship. Not proper, but a little bit. Yeah, I really loved it. Quite a lot of people said they were let down by the end of the story, but I thought the end of the story was okay. It was okay. I wish it was a bit better, the end of the story. The end of the story was like, it was like, oh, it was okay ending, but it could have been so much more. I gave this 4 stars, and I'm thinking about upping it to a 4.5, same as Flatshare. But it could have been even 5 if the ending was better. It could have, but it wasn't. So yeah, 4 stars for that one. After that, I read How to Go Waste Free by Caroline Jones. Now this is a book filled with 100 different tips how to help you go waste free. There's things in here about how to shop better. Oh, this is one that I read as well, which I never knew about. Don't buy plastic pens. I had never thought about not buying plastic pens, because I buy loads of pens, and once the ink goes, just throw them away. I just never thought about that, because I do quite a lot of that's not right, is it? I do quite a lot of recycling, but there's some things in here that I just never thought of, like the pens and stuff. And there's a lot of great tips in here actually. So I think if you're trying to go more waste free, to read this, because even me picked some few tips up from this, and I think it's a good little book. Eco Tips for Busy People. I think she also does a book. Yeah, there we go. Look, she also does one called Plastic Free. How to Go Plastic Free. So these are lovely, great books. So I give this 4 stars. Then we got The Lying Room, which was an audio book for me. Obviously, borrow books again. The Lying Room by Nikki French. Nikki French is actually 2 authors. Nikki somebody and somebody French. So we put the names together, Nikki French. I think they're actually husband and wife. I'm not 100% sure. The Lying Room. This is the first book I've read by Nikki French, and I've heard a lot of good things about Nikki French. I was really looking forward to reading this. I was mesmerised by it. I was like so into it. It starts off with a woman who gets a text. She's having an affair on an affair, and she gets a text message from her guy she's having an affair with saying to meet her at his flat. She goes round to his flat, and what does she find? She finds he's dead on the floor. Someone has hit him over the head with a hammer, left the hammer there, and there's blood everywhere, and obviously he's dead. And the first thing she thinks about, instead of like ringing the police, is, oh my god, my husband's going to find out I'm having an affair. So what does she go and do? She decides to tidy the whole flat, clean it top to bottom, and get rid of any traces that she's ever been there. And then she goes and just leaves. But she realises that she's left her bangle there. So she goes back to the flat. But when she goes back, the hammer has gone. Somebody has moved the hammer. So obviously, who is it? But there's a lot of people. We follow a lot of different characters and stuff, and there's a lot of people it could be. I kept thinking, oh, it could be her. Oh, it's her. Oh, it could be him. Like that. They have all got a different reason. And I really enjoyed it, to be honest. I love the little twists in it. I didn't guess who the actual killer was at the end, which was good because I normally always guess it. I didn't guess this one, so that was good. I actually enjoyed it. It was a 4-star read for me. It wasn't a brilliant read, like, even though I didn't know who the killer was, it wasn't, oh my god, like that. It was, yeah, I don't know. It wasn't 5 stars, but it was 4. So I would recommend reading that. It's really good. So yes, 4 stars for The Lying Room. And then next one, Hidden Wonders by The Lonely Planet. Now this is supposed to be a kid's book, aged about roughly 9 to 12, but I would say adults can read this too because it's very good. There's over 100 different strange and wonderful places in the world where you can visit. Things that people like. Let me find you some good ones. Got a hidden beach. How to visit a hidden beach. Abandoned ghost ship. That was one I liked. Ghost ship. All different places. It starts off from like the east side of the world and goes over to the west. So you've got like in order. Some weird trees. Look. There's loads of different things. I have no idea what that is. But there's someone here and I was like, oh my god, I would love to go there. I would love it. And it's like 150 different places to pick from. I mean, look how beautiful them places are. Would anybody want to visit them? Yeah, I love it. Amazing. Well, if you're a traveller and you like to travel, I mean, look, these are caves in Slovenia. They are gorgeous. I would love to like fit some things like that. I'd love to visit. There are some weird and wacky places as well. We've got like the catacombs in France, which was good. These weird sculptures that just appear over this town. Just a little town, but it looks good. And I think there's some really good places in this. So if you'll travel and you want to travel some weird places that you've never even thought about travelling to before, this could be a great guide. I just love reading it and looking at all the amazing places that I've never known about. It's really good. It's 150 places in there together, and I give that 5 stars. What are you doing, baby? Your little cat's doing. What's she doing? There she is, look. My little Freya. You going? Go on then. And my last but not least was another 5 stars and the best book I've read this year so far. And it was a NetGalley book that I received for free by ebook. And it was called The Mercies by Karen Millwood Hargrave. I think I said that right. And basically it's about this little village up north, the northest you can get, Vargo in Norway. And one day, all the men from the village, except for like the very old men and the little boys, go out to sea to fish. And then they see a whale or something. Someone sees a whale and think it's a sign. And next thing you know, the ship has crashed in the waves and things. All the men on it die, basically. All the men on it die. So all the women in the village have got to defend for themselves, basically. And it was set in the 1612, so years ago. And then men did men's things, women did women's things. And it takes you after 18 months after this, and it follows Marin. I think her name's Marin. Follows Marin, and she's got a friend called Kristen, or is it Kirsten? Kristen. Kristen is she's the one who says, come on girls, we should go fishing ourselves and catch our own food, otherwise we're going to starve. She's the one who slaughters the reindeer so they can get some meat and so they can make clothes. She wears trousers because she doesn't want to get blood all over her legs when she's cutting the reindeers and stuff. But then other villagers close by start to talk and saying, these women need to be controlled, they need a man. So they send for a commissioner. This commissioner, he's just married a new woman. He's got a new wife who they've only just met like once. And they move into this town. And this commissioner is very religious. He goes to church all the time and he likes women to be in their place. And he likes things a certain way at things, like old-fashioned ways like they used to be. But then somebody turns around and says that Kirsten and this other woman and I think a couple more are witches. They caused the boat to sink. They're wearing jeans. They've got runes. Can't say that word. Runes. Runes. And the witches. So basically they have to go on trial and one of them ends up getting killed on a witch trial, and everybody's like, and it's about how Marion has a little relationship with Ursula, which is the commander's wife. They get really friendly and end up having a relationship, but it's a bit of everything in it. It's a slow burner at start because I'll tell you something, I was going to DNF this book and I'm so glad I didn't because it's now a 5-star book. It was like quite a few chapters in actually. It was very slow burning. But when it got all to the witchy stuff, I was like, ooh, I couldn't wait to read it. It was lovely. A lot of things happened in it. I really loved it. And actually, one of the things I really enjoyed so much about this book is that it's actually based on true life events. These witch trials in Vardo, Norway, are real. And altogether about, I think it was about 90 people got killed for being witches. And actually, right now, there is actually a monument. What's it called? Is it called a monument? Like a memorial for all these 90 people that died there. and it's beautiful. I can't believe it's actually based on a real story, and like all this, most of it actually happened and stuff. So yeah, it's really good. So go and read it. It's called The Mercies, and if you're like me, it was very slow burning, and you think, oh no, this is rubbish, I'm going to put it down. Do not put it down, because it does get better, and I loved it. So that's all the books from me this month, and that's quite 10's quite a good month for me. So yeah, I'm quite proud of that. Same was February, had a couple of days left. Oh, we did have one more day this year, didn't we? Yeah. But I hope in March I can read more. I'm reading one now. I've read two. I've read two. I've already read one, and I'm reading another one now. So yes, and it's only the 2nd today. Right, so I'll see you in the next one. Bye.